Welcome to the Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. I'm Jim Barber. We greet you today from the Little League Complex in Whitestown, Indiana, for a winner's bracket game in the Midwest between Kenosha of Wisconsin and Davenport of Iowa. Both teams winners earlier in the week, which puts them into position now as we speak. And the winner of our game will face Webb City in the semifinals on a right to play for the championship and a trip to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Titus Dichter the other night was incredible. Not one, but two three-base hits. He scored twice, he knocked home three. And oh, by the way, after his first triple you're watching there, after two were out, he decided to take things in his own hands. How about a delayed steal at home? Later with the bases loaded, a wrap to right field. That scored three and himself off an error. And his team went on to a huge victory, a shutout victory in its opening game, 9-0. Ben Smet Cooper, who can hit the long one as well, bats second. Then Nick doubles Falk third. Chase Meyer, the coach's son, fourth. Brian Portilla fifth. Mallory Meyer, the only girl in Little League Baseball here this week, will bat sixth. Then Liam O'Connell seventh, Colin St. Martin eighth, and the center fielder Max Payette will bat ninth. Well, they say when Grayson Gray Bollinger is on, watch out. Manager Dave McFate said he's our ace when things are going well. He's got a curve that can buckle some guys at the plate. He's deadly off speed and he throws near 70 miles an hour. It's an honor to have you with us for the second of our winners bracket games. As you look at Iowa defensively, and it's awfully good. Everhart can chase down just about anything. Infield, Townsend, McFate, Kettman, and Andreessen, and Bollinger and Swanson, pitcher and catcher. And if this game is half as entertaining as the first one today, you'll be in for a lot of fun. That final was 15-7, and we didn't even play 5 innings. Lasted 2 hours and 10 minutes. Two balls and a strike on Titus Dichter. He's the youngest of 4 brothers. Third base coach and manager Adam Meyer says he is, without a doubt, our leader. Five-tool player in his estimation. Quite a compliment for somebody of his age. Head on the count, 3 balls and a strike. Titus has 21 homers this year. Towards second base. Quinn Kettman, 1 out. It's a big out for Iowa early. Ben Smet Cooper stepping to the plate. And Big Ben for a no-hitter the other night. Walking just 1 and striking out 13. His reaction was interesting at the end of the game. He wasn't overly excited, but as everybody was jumping all over him, got a big grin on his face, and maybe just hit him at that time when he did. 2 strikes. Quite an accomplishment. Having a winner through a no-hitter last year here, a perfect game. Strike 3 call. Home-plate umpire with the right hand is Bradley Nelson. Mike Kilroy is upping at first. Leanna Ricks at second. Dwight Stevens at third. So Gray Bally off to a pretty good start on the mound. Nick Daniel Falk. Call him Danny Doubles. He'll settle for a base hit there. So Nick Falk, his first hit of the tournament. And that'll bring up the catcher and first baseman, catcher and number 3, Chase Meyer. You mentioned Chase, son of the manager. 6 years ago, went with his brother Keegan to the regionals. He has never drank soda in his life. He says just water and white milk. Wants to stay very healthy. Bollinger starts him off with a strike. Comes back with another strike. Iowa, no stranger to this tournament, went perfect in state and went perfect in district. In fact, with the win the other day, 10-3 is 14-0 in this stretch and has outscored opponents 136 to 13. What a good first inning for Gray Balling. He throws just 13 pitches. He gets 2 strikeouts and leaves a man. Introduce Iowa to you in a moment. The Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile. Get coverage beyond the expected. Stream in the air and abroad on us so you can stay in the game. Scoreless first inning for Wisconsin. Now it's Iowa to come to the plate. This is the man they'll face. Who's the leadoff hitter for Wisconsin? Titus Nichter. Got a good-looking fastball out there, and that's not only his only pitch. Struck out in the state tournament 12 in 4 innings and 24 in a total of 9 innings. Ball moves on him, upper 60s in terms of speed, and he gets the go-ahead today from manager Adam Meyer. He'll face a hot-hitting Iowa team that the other day put together 11 hits, and it seemed like every hit was for extra bases. He is defended by Meyer, Payette, and Portillia in the outfield. Solid in the infield. O'Connor, Falk, St. Martin, and Smet Cooper, and he'll play pitch and catch with Meyer. The Iowa starting lineup batting in this tournament, albeit just one game, a small sample supply, batting .392. Ted Swanson had a huge day. 2 for 4, 4 ribbies, and a couple of doubles in a win over Kansas. All right-handers minus Jamison Andreessen, who hits left-handed. Well, Iowa had a hit parade in its 5th inning against Kansas where it put together 5 two-base hits. So Colin Townsend will try to get the Iowa bats going again. CT steps to the plate. Asked about his role model. He says it's my dad for the volunteer work he does. Not only in the community, but with baseball as well. This is the second of a doubleheader today in the winner's bracket. Later today in the Great Lakes, Ben Shulman will have at 4 o'clock Kentucky and Ohio in a winner's bracket game, followed by an elimination game between Illinois and Michigan. 4 pitches. Colin Townsend starts the Iowa first with a walk. Here's Quinn Kettman.
44, second baseman Quinn Kettman.
Quinn is 2 for 3 in the regional. Has 3 batted in and has scored 3. Also has reached on an error. And according to his manager, Dave McFate, who's in the dugout, is a very good bunter. Third base coach, Jacob Everhart. First base coach, Jeremy Jackson. For Davenport Southeast Little League, which has been on a tear. 14 consecutive wins and barely challenged. Although in its win the other day, 10-3 against Kansas, was trailing with 6 outs to go and then exploded. Ted Swanson, the catcher, bats next. Four games on Friday, previously 4 Saturday and 4 today. Headed to right field and dropping. Runner around second. He's around third. He's going to go ahead and score. The throw to the plate, and he is out. He thought he beat it, though. Colin Townsend thought he beat it. Now the question is, will he challenge it? And they will challenge. As he motions over to his third base coach, Jacob Everhart. Here's a look at the slide on a great relay, by the way. Did he get the foot in before the tag? He thinks he did. Zero hesitation by umpire Bradley Nelson on the play. But the foot is to the left of the catcher. And Townsend thought he beat it. Apparently the problem here is that the replay may be down. And therefore, if that is the case, then the play is going to hold and the runner will be out at home base. So we can't have replay. So Colin Townsend is out at home base. And that's a tough break for Iowa.
For Iowa, the catcher, number 7, Ted Swanson.
So one out now in the bottom of the first. This is just the second time that's happened. And so Iowa denied a challenge and an opportunity to get a run. Man still at second base though. And here's Ted Swanson, batting .500 in the regional. Good stop by Chase Meyer behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. In the first for Iowa in a scoreless game. If you see a headset malfunction in college football this year, and it will happen, on one sideline, then the other one has to shut its down to make sure it doesn't have an unfair advantage. Out of the zone, Ted chases a fastball, 2 outs. Down the cleanup here.
The pitcher, Grayson Ballinger.
Grayson Ballinger trying to help his own cause. Strike 1. Strike 2. Be interesting to see today in this game what plays would be worth challenging, but with replay down won't happen. Can certainly put a note around the first one. And that hit him. So the runner will have to return to second base. Runners at first and second with 2 outs.
The shortstop, 17, Mason McFate.
Mason McFate, the shortstop. Ball gets away, runners advance to second and to third. Base hit could score a couple here. Opportunity for Mason McFate. McFate 2 for 4 with a couple runs batted in, couple of doubles. Runners tempted will head back to their bases. Again, with the backstop being so short and such a quick ricochet, no opportunity in most cases to take a chance. Bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning to go with a hit batsman. Brings up Blake Bishop, the left fielder.
Left fielder, 34, Blake Bishop.
Strike one. So big moment in the game, particularly for Wisconsin. Trying to escape an inning that's seen just about everything. Off the change, one.
Center fielder, 16, Owen Everhart.
Now Owen Everhart. 1 for 2 with a run batted in and a double. Already 30 pitches thrown in the first inning by Titus Nichter. Good fastball there to even the count, 1-1. Trying to dance out of big trouble and working very quickly. In fact, I'm not sure the batter was ready. Owen Everhart races up the right hand, now gets set. 2-1. Two and two. Big pitch here. And again, we go full with the bases loaded. Boy, Titus Nichter probably feels like he's pitched half a game here. Needs to get a punch out or something here. Strike three call. Owen Everhart knew it. Iowa gets one, but leaves three. Huge strikeout there. To the Wisconsin second we go. Top of the second, and oh, by the way, replay is available now. Everything back up and working. So should we have a call that is worthy of challenging, we will go through all the motions to find out if the call is upheld or overturned. So Gray Bollinger back out there to start the second inning. Got a couple of strikeouts in the first. He'll face the middle of the Wisconsin lineup of Brian Portilla, Mallory Meyer, and Liam O'Connell. Brian's dad is the first base coach by the same name, who allegedly doesn't wash his clothes at all during a winning streak. At least he didn't during the district. I love his hat too, man. Third base coach and manager is Adam Meyer. And King Elvis, Trey Meyer, coach's nephew, is in the dugout, or coach's son rather is in the dugout. And before long, we'll show you what King Elvis has been up to, because he's had a most eventful life as a mascot. And he was able to live to tell about it, too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian 0 for 1 in the tournament, has scored a run, walked a couple of times. Good contact hitter. Got on base a lot during the district and the state for Wisconsin. And back into right field. Quinn Kettman couldn't handle, and so Brian Portilla reaches base to start the second inning. Well, it certainly looked like a manageable play.
Left fielder, number 6, Mallory Meyer.
But Quinn could not come up with it. He was disappointed. Will go as a base hit. So runner at first with nobody out. And Mallory Meyer The coach's niece stepping to the plate. Snap throw down to first. Well, Adam Meyer says if Mallory needs to do anything, she just needs to make more contact. She has very good power, and she is very quick. So any type of contact, particularly on a grounder in the infield, she's got a chance to beat it. We'll do the ball one, strike two pitch again. We're the Midwest region where today's winner goes to the semifinals on Wednesday to face a scalding hot Missouri team that won 17-7 earlier today. Clay Metvick, Chris Burke will have the call for you. 11 Eastern, 10 Central, Wednesday morning. Now the loser of this game still very much in it, but they'll have to come back tomorrow at 10 in the morning to face Minnesota in an elimination game. Once again, a 2-2. Most of the Wisconsin contingent sitting right behind home plate, hoping for Miss Meyer to get on. And she does. So a walk and a hit. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Folks in from Kenosha, Little League. That's 6 hours or so away. Here's Liam O'Connell. Promises not to cut his hair until the season is over. Runners are moved to second and third with nobody out. So a big scoring opportunity here. Ball and a strike. William O'Connell will be followed by Colin St. Martin, and then Max Payette, which will round out the Wisconsin batting order. Liam nicknamed Squirrel. Manager says he's always got his jaw going. Misses on that pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 30th pitch coming up from Gray Bawley. And it's a strikeout. His third of the game. Runners stay at second and third with 1 out. Splendid day in Central Indiana. Temperatures started out in the high 70s. They've reached the 80s now. 2 more games yet to go today in the Great Lakes. A wave at that pitch and a miss. Colin St. Martin likes to wear the same dirty pants in the midst of a win streak, which is what Wisconsin has going here. Had to rally in district down against Burlington, last year's state champions. Came from a 4-run deficit. And by the way, Kenosha, Wisconsin, home of celebrities Gavin Lux of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Mark Ruffalo, very fine Hollywood actor. In a movie that gained much acclaim, Spotlight. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, second inning. Scoring opportunity for Wisconsin. Keep cheering, young lady. A lot to go here. 2 strikeouts in a row for Ballinger. 2 outs now to Wisconsin second. And we'll leave it up to Max Payette. And Gray Bawley got that ball moving around the plate. Deadly off speed, so says manager Dave McFate. strike one. Max caught the final out in the state finals and got mobbed by his teammates. What an awesome feeling that must have been. Ballinger now a strike away from striking out the side, getting out of a huge jam. He did it. Wisconsin got runners to second and third and failed to score. Well, wait a minute. Hang on a second, as the runner ran down to first. Not convinced, apparently, that the ball didn't hit the ground. So hold everything. All right, we can go to commercial break now. Strikeout upheld, inning over. Wisconsin leaves 2 and has left 3 now in the first 2 innings. That off speed's been nasty so far through an inning and a half. If you want to play Little League baseball or softball, it's really easy. Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. Yeah, go fight win today. Beautiful posters here at the ballpark. Lots of colors. Pretty looking clouds for the most part. And a complex that's about a year old now. Got into circulation, opened for business roughly a year ago today. At stake, plenty. The winner gets a shot at Missouri in the semifinals on ESPN Wednesday morning. The loser back tomorrow will try to stay alive in the tournament. Titus Nichter, second inning of work. Got out of a bases-loaded jam in the Iowa first. And he'll face Jeremiah Grisey, the right fielder, batting in the 8th spot. On the infield, Colin St. Martin, 1 out. So one of the team's strongest defensive players handles the infield pop-up. Now Jamison Andreessen batting in the 9th spot, the first baseman. As a pitcher, his highlight during the tournament, through 5 innings, struck out 14 of a possible 15. He is the only left-handed batter on the team. Well, you've heard The Untouchables, the movie. His favorite book is The Unteachables. Ahead on the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Leadoff hitter set to bat next, C.T. Townsend. Three balls, 1 strike. In that first inning, Titus walked a couple and hit a man. Gave up a single. This one headed to left field and caught. Now we mentioned Mallory Meyer's speed. You saw a little bit of it there, 2 outs. Got a good jump on the ball. And as a result, hauls it in.
Back to the top of the lineup for Iowa, third baseman, #1, Colin Townsend.
To the plate now, C.T. Townsend. Colin Townsend, who walked in the first inning. And thought he had scored on Quinn Kettman's hit. He was called out at home base, home plate, by umpire Bradley Nelson. Iowa was going to challenge, but replay was down for the moment. It's back up now, but since it wasn't available, the call on the field stood, and he was ruled out at home plate. 2 outs, nobody on, a ball and 2 strikes. All these kids and coaches and managers staying just across the highway at the Hampton Inn, getting to know each other. That's a strikeout, and that ends a perfect inning. Much better for Titus in the second than in the first. 1-0 after 2.
For Iowa in the home half of the second inning, no runs, no hits.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania is the center of the world.
I want my curveball like Clayton Kershaw's and my fastball like Monet Davis.
Monet Davis is the first girl to pitch a shutout in the 68-year history of the Little League World Series.
Monet Magic or Monet Mania. I bet Mallory Meyer remembers that, huh?
Leading off the top of the third for Wisconsin.
Mallory made that fine catch in left field. Maybe some Mallory Mania down the line. Top of the third in a 1-0 game. Titus Nichter, second time around at the plate. 2 for 5 in the regional, batting .400. Monet in our broadcast position last week for girls softball on the road to Greenville, North Carolina. Remembers her great times well. And she's just early 20s of age, so she's lived a lifetime already. Sure, Miss Meyer can relate to Monet's attention and her great success. Again, Mallory is the niece of Adam Meyer, the third base coach and manager. Going the opposite field or right field, and that's hit deep. Up against the fence. Nichter around second. He's going to try for his third triple of the tournament. And he's got it. Three base hits for Titus Nichter here in the regional. And he just loves going the opposite field, because this isn't the first time he's done this. Rosé with the relay, and even on the overthrow, Nichter staying put with another 3-base hit. Well, let's see if Wisconsin this time around can make something good come out of having runners in scoring position. In the first, they left a man on. In the second, 2 men on with nobody out at second and third, failing to score. Now here's a chance in the third. Should mention that Nick Falk actually wasn't in scoring position with his hit in the first, but Brian Portilla and Mallory Meyer were in the second. Third hit of the game. Ben Smet Cooper at the plate. Daddy Nukes is his nickname. Once hit a ball over 300 feet. Let's see if he has a green light here on 3-0. Eagles on the first base, so Titus Nichter remains at third. Smet Cooper now at first, another Wisconsin rally brewing. And here comes Nick Falk, who singled to center in the first. Each starting pitcher now has thrown 47 pitches. Will they send Ben Smet Cooper to second? Try to put 2 in scoring position. Not yet, anyway. Grayson Ballinger struck out the side in the second to get out of a huge jam. Got another one created here, though, with runners at first and third and nobody out. Winner's bracket game today between Wisconsin and Iowa. The winner of this game is within 2 victories of Williamsport, and so make the semifinals to take on Missouri, which earlier today won 17-7 against North Dakota with a 10-run inning. in a game that didn't even finish 5 innings because of a 10-run rule. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nick Falk has run it full. The kid that can play any position defensively at the plate. Wisconsin ran the table in the state going 7-0. And now here's off to a good start. It's interesting that Kenosha's Little League team had more of a challenge in district, having to rally against the defending state champions of Burlington, than it did in the state. The bases are loaded. Third walk to Wisconsin batters. Still nobody out. That's going to bring manager Dave McFate to the mound. Chase Meyer is scheduled to hit next. We've had a triple and back-to-back walks. Well, the good news for Iowa is nobody has scored and a force at any base, but the bad news is 3 are on board with nobody out. Home plate umpire Bradley Nelson breaks up the conversation. Ray Bawley will remain in the game on the mound.
Special pinch runner, number 7, Parker Jessery. And the batter is the catcher, number 3, Chase Meyer.
Parker Jessery becomes the special pinch runner for Wisconsin. Here's Chase Meyer. This one inside for a ball. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch count approaching 60. Taking all the way, 2 balls and a strike. Chase Meyer looking for his first hit in the regional, 0 for 4. Has struck out a couple times and scored. Another bad one, and we're tied. Tie game. RBI for Chase Meyer. Titus Nichter scores. And they remain loaded on back-to-back walks.
Number 4, right fielder, Brian Portelia.
So each team has walked in a runner. Ben Smet Cooper running at third now. Nick Falk, the runner, at second. Chase Meyer now at first. Nobody out. Brian Portelia got a base hit in the second, but was stranded at third base. After reaching third with nobody out, is at the plate. Double play depth for short and second defenders. In at the corners at third and first. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Grayson Ballinger's got a huge moment on the mound. Headed to second, they're going home for the 4th. 2-1 Wisconsin. As the ball bounced in, it was a tough play for Ted Swanson to handle. Well, they were all set up to get the force. Throw was low, tough to handle, and as a result, Smet Cooper comes home, or rather, Parker Jarrett comes home, and it's 2-1. It will go as an error on the ground ball by Portillo. And the fielder's choice. Check that, Jesserick running at second, now at third. And Ben Smet Cooper did score. Two to one in favor of Wisconsin, and they may not be done yet. Mallory Meyer has worked the count to 2-2. He's got the power to blast one 225 feet. She has worked the count full. Huge inning brewing for manager Adam Meyer. Foul ball. Well, in this game, Wisconsin's been the beneficiary of 4 walks to go along with 3 hits and an Iowa error. Playing shallow at all the positions in the outfield. Out on strikes. 1 out in the third. It's a big one for Grayson. And on a full count pitch, no less. Fastball, blew it past her. Here comes Liam O'Connell. He struck out in the previous inning. Slow roller to home for the force. Good play by Ballinger. Everybody else moves up a base, but it remains 2-1 with 2 outs. So Nick Falk forced out at home.
Second baseman, number 5, Cullen St. Martin.
And here comes Cullen St. Martin. Bases still loaded. To this point, Wisconsin's left on 3. It has 3 on the bases right now. Strike call. Max Payette would bat next, and the lineup we turned over for yet another time already. Back-to-back called strikes. And Grayson Ballinger dance out of yet another jam as he did in the second. Waste a pitch there. 1-2. Back to Ballinger, and he is out of trouble. He gave up 2, could have been a lot worse. As he retired his side with the bases loaded and nobody out. 2-1 now, Wisconsin. Welcome back to the Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. Got a good one going here, 2-1 Wisconsin. Bottom of the third, Iowa coming to the plate. Wisconsin left on 1 in the first, 2 men on base in the second, and 3 in the third. Grayson Ballinger seems to do his best work when he's in trouble, pitching for Iowa. Quinn Kettman, who singled and scored back in the first, will lead off. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Dave McFate and Davenport Southeast Little League.
Iowa, second baseman 24, Quinn Kettman.
Which won the state last year, making a return appearance. Did it with Colin Townsend, Mason McFate, Owen Everhart, and Riley Ellinger, all members of this team. And our catcher is shaken up here, it appears. Chase Meyer is in pain. It's arguably the toughest position on the field to play. And he got some smiles from his teammates. All right, he's okay. Good to see. Titus Nichter in this game to this point walked 3 in the first inning before getting a couple of strikeouts, and had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the second with a strikeout. Did he get him to go? Yep. 4th strikeout in the game. Got him reaching there, 1 out. One thing you'll see is with the off speed, a lot of times these hitters haven't been able to time up the bat. They've been reaching. So the off speed throwing has been very effective. Here's the future doctor, Ted Swanson. Well, we talked about the big day he had in Iowa's opening win over Kansas, 2 for 4. 4 batted in with a run scored. A couple of 2-base hits. Said he'd love to meet Babe Ruth and talk about hitting dingers, in which Ted has some experience. A lot of great books written on the Bambino. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Just short. 2 outs. Good play by Nick Falk. And now 6 in a row have been retired by pitcher Titus Nichter. Took a nice bounce to the shortstop position. And not a problem. Danny Doubles, as they call him, Nick Falk.
Pinch hitting for Iowa, number 3,
They don't like the pros, who obviously play baseball for a living and handle hundreds of plays in the course of a year. In Little League, kids usually have a big grin on their face after making something good happen. Mitchell Kelly is the pinch hitter, batting for Grayson Ballinger. Mitchell doesn't eat breakfast on game day. His favorite athlete, the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. 1-2 pitch. The winner gets Missouri, which puts 17 on the board today to beat Fargo, North Dakota 17-7. In a game that had everything. Challenge calls, wild pitches, passed balls, hits, errors. 3-run homer from Andrew Baird. Pitch hitter Kelly has gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Seven in a row retired by pitcher Titus Nichter. And 4 of those have been on strikeouts. At the end of 3, Wisconsin 2, Iowa 1 for the right to get to the semifinals. That is Trey Meyer, the dugout coach for Wisconsin. He's the mascot for the Kenosha Kingfish of the Northwood League. So he got challenged to a football drill with no less than A.J. Dillon of the Green Bay Packers. Can you say mismatch? AJ said he'd make him famous, and all good fun he has. Over 7 million hits of that replay you just saw several times over.
Bottom of the last inning now.
Oh, man.
Field number 3, Mitchell Kelly. Other moves.
But Meyer was okay, didn't get hurt.
Right field. And 13, Jeremiah
He took some punishment from AJ.
second base.
Looks like he does tackles and cornerbacks and things of that nature in the course of the game. Wisconsin batting for the 4th inning, leading 2-1.
Pinch hitting for Wisconsin. Number 12, Colin Principe.
Colin Principe is the batter. Tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. Blake Bishop now getting his 2nd game of work for Iowa. Blake pitched yesterday, or rather Friday, through an inning and 2/3. 21 pitches, walked a man, struck out a couple in that 10-3 victory over Kansas. Back to Bishop, 1 out. And that is the 3rd assist by pitchers today for Iowa. Back to the top of the Wisconsin order.
Number 2,
Titus Nichter, who has to have some type of record going for most three base hits on a regional. He's got 3 already. 1 in this game, and he scored a little earlier in the 3rd inning. By the way, we have a question about Bishop after he throws the next one. This is from the kids' jokes when we're talking about pitchers here. Why does a pitcher raise one leg when he throws? Well, if he raised 2 legs, he'd fall down. Yeah, gonna find some way to stay entertained up here. Got another kid's joke here in a moment. Should have told it during the Webb City game, Missouri, with a lot of Cardinal fans, but why is it so hot at the Cubs game? Because they have no fans. Brutal. Has to be a Cardinals fan. Has to be. Cardinals are hot. They've beaten the Yankees twice this weekend. So maybe it's allowed to tell it. Three-two count, 1 out. Titus Nichter, 1 for 2 in this game. Having himself quite a regional. 3 for 6. All 3 hits, 3 base hits. He has scored 3 times. He has another hit. 1 out in the 4th. Nichter aboard again. He's just wearing out opposing pitching.
First baseman, 14, Ben Smet-Cooper.
Ben Smet-Cooper to the plate, walked and scored in the 3rd. Wisconsin has left 6 on base. This one headed back to the bleachers and over, where somebody will retrieve the ball and it'll be returned. Balls at a premium here, unlike the majors, where they typically are handed over to the fans in the stands. Something that I believe started in earnest after 9/11 in 2001, as a lot of the professional leagues began to appreciate life even more and their association with fans. Bounce toward first base. That's a fair ball, unassisted. The play goes. Titus Nichter goes to second. So Ben Smet-Cooper retired. That'll bring up number 10, the shortstop in the 3rd spot, Nick
Number 10,
Falk.
shortstop, Nick Falk.
Falk is a pitcher, and it's state play with a number of strikeouts. Now is a left-handed batter, trying to bring home Wisconsin's 3rd run and keep the inning going. By the way, for that Cardinal fan with that cruel joke of the Cubs, Cubs are leading 1-0 today. But there is a rain delay in Chicago. And now, back to this game. Beckett's away. Runner heading to third and is out. Ted Swanson with the throw. But those will be a challenge. And you'll get to see what the umpire sees with the headset on, and also folks in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. There was no hesitation at third base by umpire Dwight Stevens. That foot is down quickly. The question is, did it get to the bag before the tag? Just joining us, we had a situation where Iowa could have challenged play at the plate. Replay was not working at that moment, so the play was upheld. The call at home was out. Replay is back. The call at third base is out. Now, will it stand? Titus Nichter runs the bases as well as anybody. Tried to take advantage there on a ball that got away from catcher Swanson. Ted had a nice throw over to third, though. The tag being applied by C.T. Townsend. We'll find out momentarily if it's going to stand. Umpires are headed out. And it isn't out. So Nichter cut down, trying to stretch. So that effectively ends the inning. This time Wisconsin leaves no one on base and still leads 2-1.
Top of the fourth. No runs, one hit.
Middle of the Iowa lineup due to bat here in the fourth, with Wisconsin leading 2-1. At stake, a trip to the semifinals Wednesday morning for a game nationally on ESPN and a matchup with hot-hitting Missouri, which pulled one out of the hat against South Dakota on opening day and then put 17 on the board earlier today. Good support from Iowa. Davenport Southeast, no stranger to big tournament games. The shortstop, Mason McFate, will lead it off. Mason is 2 for 4 in the regional, a couple of doubles, 2 RBIs, and a walk earlier today. Facing some pretty good off-speed from Titus Nichter, who's now past the 65 pitch threshold. And the only thing left for him now is 85. And apparently, there are full intentions for him to go as far as he can before he reaches that. Mason McFate out on strikes. Strikeout number 6 in the game.
Pinch hitting for Iowa, 23, Kyler Collins.
Kyler Collins getting a chance to hit here. There's the pitching eligibility. And in the case of the starting pitcher for Wisconsin, he is past 65, so 85 is the limit for him. The managers have huge decisions early, and certainly in a tightly contested game. They're going to stay with their guy if possible. The game gets out of hand, it's different. But when you lose a pitcher for 4 days, it usually means you're having them go the distance because the game is close and you need to win it. And a win here for either team gets them within 2 wins, semifinals and finals of Williamsport. 2 balls and a strike. 3-2. Tyler Collins is aboard. By the way, Collins' favorite player is Chris Bryant. Has a conversation now to take place with Titus Nichter. Who was allowed just to run on a hit and got out of huge trouble in the first with a strikeout with the bases loaded. Prior to the walk, he had retired 8 straight. And he has roughly 11 pitches to go.
For Iowa, center fielder 16, Owen Everhart.
Here's the center fielder for Davenport Southeast Little League, Owen Everhart. Strike one. Turns 13 on September the 9th. He has a meme that has a Red Sox pitcher falling before making it to first base. What do you think, a Yankees fan here maybe? Red Sox and Orioles will be playing in the Major League Baseball Little League Classic coming up in Williamsport. Big leaguers will stop on by during the day prior to the big game Sunday night on ESPN to watch the Little Leaguers play. Pretty cool. The ball's 2 strikes, 1 out in a tightly contested game here, 2-1 in favor of Wisconsin. Off speed, a beauty. Everhart, frustrated, strikes out. Little League Sandlot Fun Days is a player-led and unstructured opportunity for local Little League programs to provide a fun activity for baseball and softball players. Kids make the rules, make the lineups, and make the calls. Give them the bats, balls, and field, and let them play. Learn more today at littleleague.org/Sandlot Fun Days. Riley Allinger has a lot of fun with his team. Great spirit. Part of the rally in Iowa's win Friday. Walked and scored. Batting with 2 outs. And pitch hitter Collins at first base. Collins now headed to second. Deanna Ricks with the definitive call. Runner in scoring position. Iowa in the first left 3 on, did not get anybody on base in the second or the third. So its biggest threat is here since the first inning. And on 4 pitches, Allinger now represents the go-ahead run. Each team has 13 players and are required to bat each player at least once. That's why you're seeing a slew of pinch hitters around this time.
Pinch hitting for Iowa.
And Luke Vincent will be one of those.
Vincent.
Big spot. Walked in the 10-3 win over Kansas and scored. Said he'd love to visit Cooperstown, New York one day. The Baseball Hall of Fame. So here's a chance for Iowa with 2 on and 2 outs. 6-inning game unless we're tied after 6. So now at 85 pitches, Titus Nichter with his last batter. We're trying to end the inning here and get his team to the 5th with the lead. 1-2 pitch. Well, Titus came off the mound. Maybe he thought that was strike 3. He'll have to do it all over again. Got him, took something off of it. Strikes out the side in the fourth. He will leave the game with 8 strikeouts and a chance to win it, ahead 2-1.
A really nice intersection here in Williamsport between the big leaguers and the little leaguers.
It doesn't get any better than this.
We know the grown-ups are feeling a lot like kids today.
That one is gone. That's what the little leaguers wanted to see.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Kyler Collins from Iowa has a favorite athlete, and that's Chris Bryant. He wants to meet him, though, not because it's his favorite, but because his mom's got a crush on Chris. And by the way, Chris Bryant has a son named Kyler, fittingly enough. Liam O'Connell of Wisconsin would like to meet Chris Bryant because they're born on the same day. How about that? Top of the 5th. Tough play at 3rd. Not in time. Off the glove of Townsend and McFate, who nearly threw out the runner at 1st. Sharply hit ball. Mason McFate recovered quickly. But Nick Falk is aboard for the 3rd time today to start the 5th inning. And there will be a challenge on the play. Goes as an error if it stands on the 3rd baseman. Which means that in this game, Nick Falk has reached on a single, a walk, and an infield error. Again, if you're not aware, Little League managers can challenge as much as they'd like. But if they fail twice, they're out of challenges, unless the game extends beyond 6 innings. Well, these volunteer umpires, it's a tough job, and it looks as if Falk is safe, but we'll wait for the official confirmation. But bringing their time, talent, and treasure here, and occasionally getting their work judged. Well, whatever it was, this didn't take long. So Nick Falk is at first base to start the Wisconsin 5th.
For Wisconsin, the catcher, number 3, Chase Meyer.
Here's the catcher, Chase Meyer. The night before every game's got to have a stuffed animal along with them. Part of the baseball rituals kids have. Chase had 7 extra base hits in state competition. Wisconsin left 1 on in the 1st, 1 on in the 2nd. Man on the 3rd. Check that, 1 on the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and nobody in the 4th. Tyus Nichter cut down trying to go to 3rd base. Meyer on strikes, 1 out in the 5th. Boy, what a difference 2 hours make. Our previous game was 17-7.
The right fielder, number 4, Brian Portilla.
Ryan Portilla at the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice, has a base hit. The loser is back tomorrow afternoon. Check that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock against Minnesota. And the winner heads to Wednesday with a couple days off against Missouri. One ball, 2 strikes. Mallory Meyer would be next. Wisconsin with 2 in the third. That lead has been upheld for the moment. To left field and dropping. Chance for a force at second, not in time. Goes as a base hit, second in the game for Brian Portillo. And Wisconsin once again with runners on base. And the story of the game for Kenosha Little League. Good throw by Kelly to second base. As that ball wasn't sharply hit, sometimes the runner has to hang out between first and second to see if it's going to drop. So Parker Jesserig now batting. Nicknamed the P-Man. So the coolest place to visit, Grand Canyon. Indeed. He is out on strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Well, big strikeouts when you need them, by Blake Bishop. Maxwell Jenkins now will pitch hit. Maxwell Batswell is his nickname. Couple of doubles in state competition against Ashland Little League. Bishop may not be the team's hardest thrower, but he's certainly, because he hits his spot so well, is one of their best. He is a strikeout away from Iowa, dodging yet another rally from Wisconsin. Kenosha Little League now is left on 8. Side retired on strikes. Big inning for Blake Bishop, holding serve at 2-1 as we go to the last of the 5th. Titus Nichter still has a chance to win this game. He has moved from the pitcher's mound to shortstop after reaching the limit of pitches. He threw 4 innings, gave up a couple of hits, a run, walked 5, and struck out 8, and had the K going when he needed it the most. Nick Falk will try to save it for him. Protecting a 1-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. His special talent is juggling, and he doesn't have to juggle a potential rally here.
Third baseman, number 1, Colin Townsend.
C.T. Townsend will lead it off. 6-inning game. Well played so far, 2-1. Ben Shulman will be with you in about an hour and a half for the Great Lakes Regional. This one to right center field, it's deep. And it's over the fence. A stand-up ground rule double. Colin Townsend, first hit of the game. Just Iowa's second, and he represents the tying run. Got a hold of this one.
24,
all the way to the track and over the fence. Ground rule double, and now a chance for Iowa to pull even. Quinn Kettman showing bunt. Quinn is 1 for 2 today. To short. Runner will advance on the play. So now the tying run is at third base. Let's see how Wisconsin plays this defensively. As Ted Swanson, 0 for 2 today, after a huge opening day of 2 for 4 and 4 ribbies, steps in. Iowa's got the right man at the plate, that's for sure. Both third and first basemen are in tight. for Wisconsin. Try to cut down the tying run. To third and into left field, and the game is tied. Swanson with a wrap to left. And Iowa's pulled even at 2. His 5th RBI of the tournament could not have come at a bigger time. So we're even at 2, and now he represents the go-ahead run.
Re-entering for Iowa, now batting number 9, Grayson Ballinger.
It's Grayson Ballinger who started today for Davenport Little League. Wild pitch, and a runner into second base. Mention our lineup the rest of the day, 4 o'clock. Kentucky and Ohio, followed by Illinois and Michigan. Kentucky and Ohio, the winner's bracket. Illinois and Michigan, the stay alive bracket. Ben Schulman will have both games for you. Ball on the strike. We're ways off, but if we go extra innings, they'll play the 7th inning like they do any other inning. We get to the 8th and beyond. The offensive team, the team that's batting, will have a runner at second base to start the inning, just like Major League Baseball does. Ted Swanson, go-ahead run at second, 2-1 pitch. Well, there's a lot of incentive to win this because obviously it gets you closer to a trip to Pennsylvania. But a loss, and it's a quick turnaround tomorrow at 10 in the morning against Minnesota in an elimination game. Hit to right field, playable. Runner at second won't go anywhere, and there's 2 outs. Brian Portilla with a put out. And we'll give Mason McFate a chance to hit.
17, the shortstop, Mason McFate.
Looking ahead to the Wisconsin 6th, bottom of the order, beginning with Cullen St. Martin. To short. Inning over. But Iowa gets a run on 2 hits to tie it up at 2. Still anybody's game, and we're coming down to the most critical part of the game, the 6th inning. 2-2 after 5.
For Iowa in the bottom of the 5th, 1 run on 2 hits.
Welcome back to the Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. Just joining us, picked a great time. Final inning of regulation with the game tied at 2 between Wisconsin and Iowa State champions. The winner to the semifinals, the loser to the elimination bracket tomorrow. Blake Bishop closed out Wisconsin in the 5th with 3 strikeouts. I mentioned Wisconsin is left on 8. And Cam Collum will pinch hit to start the 6th.
Pinch hitting for Wisconsin to lead off the 6th. Number 11, Cam Collum.
Had a 3-base hit in the state tournament. Primarily used as a sub. His emoji is cool shades to reflect his laid-back personality. Laid back and all, he's in a pretty big spot here. 2 balls, no strikes. Representing the go-ahead run if he can get on. To be followed by Max Payette and Tyus Nichter. in Ohio, standing by for their Great Lakes showdown in the winner's bracket, taking place at 4 Eastern today. And the count now runs full. And Cam Collum awaiting a big pitch here as the leadoff hitter in the 6th. Blake Bishop now has struck out 4 in the last 2 innings.
Center fielder, number 8, Max Payette.
Here's Max Payette, who batted back in the 2nd and struck out. Looking ahead to the Iowa 6th. It'll be the middle to the end of the lineup. 6, 7, and 8 hitters scheduled. Titus Nichter standing by, who has 3 three-base hits in this tournament. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Here comes perhaps the most dangerous Wisconsin hitter. In this game, a triple and a single, a run scored, cut down trying to go from 2nd to 3rd. And if anything, for Dave McFate and Iowa, this is worthy of a conversation because Nichter can run. And if he gets an extra base hit, as he demonstrated last night, he's liable to come all the way around. He does not stop. In fact, after tripling earlier in that game, he stole home. Took the glove off the pitcher, Blake Bishop. He's on with his 3rd hit of the game. Sent it right back at him, and Bishop went, what was that all about? Watch this again. Bang.
First baseman, 14, Ben Smet-Cooper.
So Nichter representing the go-ahead run at first base. 2 outs, Wisconsin 6th. Big Ben Smet-Cooper at the plate. 0 for 2, walked and scored. Nichter, good speed at first. And the count goes to 2 strikes. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Iowa's got a chance to walk it off. After 5.5, it's Wisconsin 2 and Iowa 2. With the winner on to the semifinals on Wednesday. The Little League Baseball Regionals on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile. Get coverage beyond the expected. Stream in the air and abroad on us so you can stay in the game. Iowa fans hoping that the game ends in this inning. Wisconsin got 2 in the 3rd. An error to home plate, resulted in that 2-run inning. And then this base hit by Ted Swanson. Played at Colin Townsend for Iowa in the 5th. And we are tied at 2 with Iowa with a chance to end it here in the last of the 6th. Ball 1. Blake Bishop walked with the bases loaded in the 1st. Batting for the 2nd time. It is Bishop, Everhart, and Jeremiah Grisey. 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Dave McFate. Scheduled to bat here in the 6th. 2-1. Nick Falk in relief of Titus Nichter. Iowa for the game is left on 6. Wisconsin now 9. 1 out in the 6th. First strikeout for Falk. He's coming on relief in the 5th. Owen Everhart, center fielder. The leader of the outfield. Trying to lead his team to a win here in the last of the 6th. Every batter that steps in represents the winning run. Three balls, no strikes on Owen Everhart. Looking down to his third base coach, Jacob Everhart. Three and one. Now 3 and 2. So Owen Everhart's taking a couple of pitches, and the count runs full with 1 out in the 6th. And he now is on base. Gonna bring up Jeremiah Grisey.
13, Jeremiah Grisey.
Likes to touch his ears, fix his helmet, and touch his head before he steps in. Looking down now to third base for a sign, and stepping in. Good-looking kid at the plate, and he takes a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Should we get to the Wisconsin 7th, middle of the order, Nick Falk, Chase Meyer, and Brian Portillo, if we get that far. Wind is picked up. Had a couple of home runs today, but not in this game to speak of. Not yet, anyway. In foul territory, there's a lot of room there. Ben Smith Cooper gave it a run, but couldn't get to it. Count goes to 2 strikes. As a third and first baseman, you have to love the room in foul territory. It's very expansive. Backs Grisey off the plate, 1 and 2. 2-6-0 for Wisconsin. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Iowa. Iowa won the coin toss, which allows them to be the home team today. That may loom big here. Now 2 and 2. Regular season team in Iowa, the Addict. To right field. Portillo's got it. Runner back to first, 2 outs. Wisconsin still with an errorless game so far today.
First baseman, number 5, Jamison Andreessen.
Jamison Andreessen batting in the 9th spot, batting for the 2nd time today, flew out to left field. Left-handed hitter. The Rock, his favorite actor. Base hit right field. Runners at first and second now. Andreessen with 1 pitch. Lines it to right field. A winning run now at second. Got a hold of that one and didn't wait around.
Third baseman, number 1, Colin Townsend.
Here's Colin Townsend. 1 for 2, a double, run scored. Up in the air and caught by Cullen St. Martin, and we're going to extra innings for the first time in the Midwest Regional this year. After 6, Wisconsin 2, Iowa 2. Bonus baseball coming up. In the Little League World Series Midwest region, double elimination modified. The two teams playing today are unbeaten. The winner goes to the semifinals and the loser to the elimination bracket. We are going to extra innings. So Blake Bishop back on the mound, trying to keep Wisconsin at bay and try to win it in the bottom of the 7th.
Number 10, Nick Falk.
Nick Falk, who has reached base 3 times today in a variety of ways to lead it off. He has singled, he has walked, he has reached on an error, but he has yet to score. Iowa had a tight one the other night. And in that game with Kansas, actually trailed 3-2 after 5 before winning. 10-3. Ball and 2 strikes. Nick Falk to be followed by Chase Meyer and Brian Portillo. Just about everybody has used their substitutes at this point. And again, with 13 players on each roster, only requirement for the teams is to have every player bat once. Iowa got a run in the first, Wisconsin 2 in the 3rd. Iowa tied it in the 5th, and that's where we stand right now, 2-2. Wisconsin's inning in the 3rd could have been a lot bigger. Had scored 2 and had the bases loaded with nobody out. And that is how it ended. Kelly, Everhart, and Kettman left, center, and right. Townsend, McFate, Grisey, and Andreessen, the infielders. Bishop and Ted Swanson are your battery. The view from behind home plate as the shadows start to come in to the batter's box. 1 out in the Wisconsin 7th. First time today, Nick Falk has been retired.
The catcher, number 3.
The last 6 outs recorded by Blake Bishop have been strikeouts. That's how good he has been in relief. Chase Meyer will try to solve him. Chase is not only good at the piano, he's also a pretty fair chess player, we understand. Kind of a game of chess for the managers today, trying to figure out how long for their pitchers to go, who to put in at what time as pinch hitters, whether to try to steal a base, which often is difficult in Little League because a runner cannot leave until the ball reaches home plate. And regardless of how this ends, the losing manager will be replaying the game over and over, and the kids will get over in about a half hour. Line drive, second base. Jeremiah Grisey didn't have to move. 2 outs. Chase Meyer stung it. Grisey caught it. Iowa's defense today, just 1 error. Wisconsin without an error. Here's Brian Portillo, who has reached base 3 times today. 2 singles and a fielder's choice. The heart of the Iowa order is due up in the 7th. Quinn Kettman, Ted Swanson, and Gray Bollinger. 2 more strikeouts for Blake Bishop. And once again, he puts his team in position to walk it off. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Time to stretch at the ballpark. Extra innings at the ballpark right after the 7th inning stretch. Iowa comes to the plate. A run will win it and advance them to the semis on Wednesday. Quinn Kettman, Ted Swanson, Gray Ballinger are scheduled to bat. Here's Quinn, 1 for 3 today.
The bottom of the 7th, right fielder 24, Quinn Kettman.
And 3 for 6 in the series, batting .500. Nick Falk on the mound, who took over for Titus Nichter, who reached 85 pitch limit. Iowa had a chance to walk it off in the 6th when they got runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs, but a pop-up to the second baseman, Colin St. Martin, ended that threat and sent us into bonus baseball. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Let's see if Kettman extends the bat again to try to draw the 4th ball and get on base. He is the potential winning run, giving manager Dave McFate in the dugout a lot of options here.
All right, Teddy, let's go.
In the meantime, Brian Portilla, first base coach, to the mound. And we're going to have a change. So as you reach 36 pitches, that's another threshold, a 2-day rest coming up. So Falk now will exit, and they'll go to the left fielder, Parker P-Man Jesserig, to try to extend the game to the 8th. A little scorecard, if you will, has been invaluable and probably a nuisance at times to coaches who would love to see some of their starters go even longer, but protecting young arms is all about the game. And here's a young arm to throw. The P-Man, who has less velocity than some of his other throwers, but gets it between 63 and 65 miles an hour. Closed out the pool play.
Taking over on the mound, number 7,
not allowing any runs.
And moving from the hill out to left field, number 10.
And let's see how Iowa decides to play this. With the winning run at first base and nobody out, power hitter at the plate and Ted Swanson. Swanson had the run-scoring hit that tied the game in the 5th. He is 3 for 7 in the tournament, batting .429 with 5 driven in. You would not anticipate a bunt here, but we'll see.
For Iowa, the catcher, number 7, Ted Swanson.
Iowa trying to win it here. Mentioned Wisconsin leaving people on base. Iowa's done the same. 8 coming into this inning. 2 balls, no strikes. Just tough spot for Parker Jesserig, the relief pitcher, to be in. And the count now 3-0. The winner gets Missouri on Wednesday. The loser faces Minnesota tomorrow. And the winning run now is in scoring position. Ted Swanson to first, Quinn Kettman, the runner that matters, at second. Let's see what the Iowa strategy is here.
Batting for Iowa, number 9, Grayson Ballinger.
Grayson Ballinger got the start today for Iowa. Showing bunt. Strike one. Up in the air. Now 2 strikes. So he looks down to third base to see what the advice here now is from his coach, Jacob Everhart. Grayson is 0 for 1 today, flown out to right field. Strike 3 call. Big out for Parker Jesserig. Not out of the woods yet, but there is 1 out here in the 7th. After 2 failed efforts to bunt, called third. Mason McFate, though, can win it here. McFate 2 for 6, batting .333 here in the regional. Takes the ball. The kid that the manager says just loves baseball. Has a ball and a strike. Well, Mason and his dad Dave get together, talk baseball afterwards, mostly in the car. Have a lot to talk about if they can win it here. Dropping into left field, base hit. Runner to third. Bases are loaded now. Mason McFate, first hit of the game, and a winning run at third. Little bloop single. First of the inning, but a big one at that. Iowa wins it 3-2, walks it off, and now heads to the semifinals to face Missouri. A step closer to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Another look on the fly ball to right field. And the throw from Portilla, and not in time. As Quinn Kettman beat the throw home. Game over. And Iowa wins again. Well, what a game it was, huh? Iowa 3 runs, 5 hits, an error. Wisconsin 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors. So the 2 unbeatens face each other in the semifinals on ESPN coming up Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central. And in the meantime, Wisconsin will play again tomorrow. Chance to stay in the tournament in the elimination bracket. 3-5-1 for the winners, 2-6-0 for the losers. We thank you for being a part of this. Ask you to catch your breath and stand by for the Great Lakes. 2 games coming up at 4 and 7 today, Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us. So long from Whitestown, Indiana.